Hey, it's Brad from churchmediadrop.com, and I want to walk you through the March 2025 drop and everything that's included and how you can edit and utilize it for everything from Sunday mornings all the way through to social media and everything in between. And this one's going to get you ready for Easter and spring and all the newness that's on the horizon. I hope you like it. Let's check out these designs. So first up, we have an Easter design here, and we're going to see this style throughout. So we have Easter, events, we have giving, and a couple different options for that. We have Good Friday, we got kids, New Year, see you next week, Palm Sunday, prayer, students, team night, welcome, and a worship night one. So before we normally would jump in and check all of that out, the first thing I really want to point you out when you open this pack up is to check out the style guide. Now the style guide is always important because it's going to let you know what fonts you need to install before you open up any themes or templates or Photoshop files to make sure that you can edit everything in there. Now we're doing a mix and match thing for our title font again this month. So we have Transforma Script, which is a free font. This weight of this font is totally free, but it's not a part of Google Fonts. So you're going to have to install it separately from that and download that separately. And then the other ones are Google Fonts. So we have Oswald, which is really similar to Babus New, if you're familiar with that. But one of the great things about Oswald is that it has lowercase letters in case you want lowercase. And then we have Lexan as the body fonts. We're kind of mixing a few different fonts together, and then you can see a color guide here and just kind of an overall look of the style for March. Okay, so now we can jump in and check out everything else we have. So we looked at widescreen. We also have a ton of tech support graphics here. So there's, I think, 22 or 23 different options here that have all of these letters and shapes and just generic simple versions. So you can utilize these for a lot of different things. And then we have social and vertical versions for everything. So we can go in here and check out some of these vertical titles. So we have like events and giving and all sorts of Good Friday. So all of this is ready for you for social media. And then we have the same for broadcast. We have our tech support and titles for broadcast. So we can come in here and check out that we have this nice transparent one for Easter or events. We have this nice rounded rectangle at the bottom with our little highlight flourish of that one character that's different. And then we can see we have our Photoshop files, and then we have our extras. Now in the extras folder, you're going to see a few different things here. We have gradients, PNG letters, and PNG titles. Now the titles we can go in and check out, and we have all of these are just the straight up titles that you can use to dump in into ProPresenter or Canva or anything. If you want the title exactly the way it was, you have those as PNGs. We also have PNG letters in case you don't have the font. So if you want to add in any alternate letters into Canva or into ProPresenter or anywhere, these come in handy that you can drag and drop those in, and I'll show you how those work. And then we have a bunch of gradients. So there's 10 different gradients that you can use to make your own designs. These are all created with you in mind. So you can check all of those out there. And then finally is our font. So if you click on any of these URL files, it'll bring you there. So this will bring you to the Google Fonts site for Lexan, and we can hit Get Font to download that. And then we can see Transforma Script here is a free font that we're going to get from DaFont. But the really important thing to see here is that this is 100% free. This is used. You can use this for commercial work. You can use this for non-free work. And it has all of these special characters that we're looking for here. It's totally legit. If you want to buy the full font, you can go find that from Font Fabric, I believe is, who created this font. So if you want those there. Now, when it comes to installing these other fonts, again, I highly recommend FontBase. We can go in here and we can go to Google Fonts and we can go look for like Oswald, and we can see the font here. We can go view the family and see. And again, this is a variable type font face, so it has all sorts of different sizes and characters and stuff like that. So it's got a bunch of different options in there. And then the other thing you can do in FontBase is you can add a folder in. And so I added a folder in here. And in here, we can see all of the different fonts in here. And so here's that script font, and we can go in and just activate that font, and then it's ready to go for us. Now for Drop Plus customers, not only do they get all of that, but they get ProPresenter and Canva templates. So let's check those out. So here is the March 2025 presentation file that's ready to go for you to edit. So all of the text that you see in here is fully editable. So you can go through and edit any of this, as well as we have all of the lowers pre-built. And then all of this stuff comes as a theme. So if we go to theme, you'll see we have a couple different themes here. We have our full screen, and then we have our broadcast version. So we can click on this and see all of the full screen options, and then we can see all of our broadcast options here as well. Now, one thing you'll notice is that we don't have any files, any theme files for anything that has the mixed and match text here. So if I go to edit slide, you'll see that this character is a different font in the midst of all of the other characters. Now, if we wanted to maybe make that E a different character, what I would recommend doing is copying this, and then we can go down here and paste, and then we can just type an uppercase E. So now we could go in and we could change up what character is which. So maybe we want to make the W a scripty W, and we could do that to change up the character. Now the other thing is sometimes the spacing in here is not great, and we want this E to move over. The way that you would adjust that is we would click in here, we're going to select the W, and then we're going to go in our text settings over to the gear icon, and we're going to change our character spacing. But we need to make sure the character is selected, not the space in between, because there is no leading or kerning available. We just have character spacing. But here we can go through and we can kick that up quite a bit and get that W that's going to come over and be a little bit closer there. So now let's look at the Canva templates quickly and check those out. So here in our templates folder, we have those ProPresenter templates and that bundle that we looked at here. And then we can go to the Canva folder and you'll see all of the 11 different designs that were used here. So we could pull up Easter, and we're just going to double click on this, and it's going to bring us right to Canva, and we can say use this template for a new design. And that's going to bring it right in, and it will allow us to edit it. Now, all of these shapes and all of these things are fully editable, so we can move them around and like update the design if we wanted to, and make something new or different or interesting if we want, and we can go in and edit some of this text. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that Canva does not allow multiple fonts to be in the same text box, and the font that we used here was not a font that you can find in Canva. So this is actually one of those PNG letters that I put into this font. So here we just have EA and then a bunch of spaces, and then we have TER, and then I put the S in between, and that's how it's going to work for all of them. So if you want to update any of these characters, we can go in and we could add in any of the ones from before. So we can go in here, we can go to extras, we can go to PNG letters, and then let's say we wanted to add an S to the end of Easter for some reason, or we wanted to change out the beginning and make the E of Easter cursive E. So we would just bring in this letter E, kind of move that out of the way. Then I'm going to delete this, add a couple spaces at the beginning of it to get it recentered, and then here we're just going to size this E down and just get it lined up so it looks nice. I'm trying to make sure the size of the top of this lines up with that. So that's how you can edit these Canva templates, and we already looked at ProPresenter, and you have the Photoshop files, so you can update and edit any of those and change out textures and all of that stuff. But I hope you enjoy this pack, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Brad at churchmediadrop.com.